Ooh. All right, let's go to number 2. Did I write it down correctly? Yes. All right, so what do I need to add? I need to add an equals x. Y'all know that. All right, so this one's just like number 1. It should be pretty easy. It's a basic problem. How do we set it up? Remember, on number 1, we did 10 to the x equals 1,000. So how are we going to set this one up? 12 to the x equals 144. Good. All right, now we got to make them into the same number. I got to turn them both into a 12. So how can I turn 144 into a 12 to some power? Guys, just check the board. 144 is 12 squared. So it's 12 to the x equals 12 squared. All right, so what's my answer on this one? X equals 2. All right, so we've gone over the easy ones, the basic ones. Let's do some that are a little bit harder now. Let's do 3. It's got a fraction in it. Everybody good on those 2? All right, number 3, I got log of 1/4 of 64 equals x. I'm just going to write equals x behind it every time and not say anything else about it. All right, Alice, can you set that one up for us? The way we set up 1 and 2?
This is 64 to the x power.
All right, it's 1/4 to the x power equals 64. 1/4 to the x power equals 64. Now, we actually went over this Wednesday, how to solve it when you got a fraction. Okay? All right, so I'm guessing y'all probably forgot. We really didn't go over it a whole lot. This has got a 4. Now, what's the exponent over this 4 right here?
1.
That's a 1, right? You guys agree? What's going to happen when I move it up to the top? It's going to be 4 to the negative 1. Good. When you move it up to the top, you just make it a negative on the exponent. Now, I hope 64 will break down into 4 to some power. So use your calculators. I know 4 squared is 16. See what 4 to the third is? 64. So we can change that to 4 to the third. You know, I've got some exponents already over here on the board. Maybe I need to write the 4's down too so we won't have to look them up every time. You know, if you need to see what 3 to the second, 3 to the third, 3 to the fourth, let's do the 4's. 4 to the 1 is 4. 4 to the second is 16. 4 to the third, y'all just said that was 64. What's 4 to the fourth? Somebody type that in. Okay, so I'll just leave these up here. That'll save us from typing them in every time. All right, so my answer, mark out the 4's, x equals negative 3. All right, so that wasn't bad.
What do you do with the negative though?
I divided both sides by negative 1. It was negative 1x equals 3, and I divided by negative 1. I skipped a step. All right, so let's go to 4. Log base 9 of 27 equals x. I'm going to give y'all a chance to do that. All right. Y'all should have 9 to the x power equals 27. Now I got to make them the same number. And I know we did this one Wednesday. Look on the board. What does 9 change into? What does 27 change into? So it'll work. So 9 changes into 3 squared. 27 changes into 3 to the third. All right, work it out now. So if I leave these exponents on the board, it should make it a lot easier and a lot faster for you. All right, so we mark out the 3's. I got 2x equals 3. What's my answer going to be? Divide by 2. So the answer is 3 over 2. And if you divide it, you should have 1.5. Number 5, log half of 8 equals x. All right, you guys set 5 up. Now, I just showed you how to do a fraction on number 3. All right, so it should be 1/2 to the x equals 8. All right, I got to make them the same number. Now, just like we did a minute ago. Alex, on the bottom right now is 2 to the first. What's going to happen with that when I move it up? Exponent turns negative. What does 8 turn into? Check the board. There it is. 8 turns into 2 to the third. Remember, you got to make them the same base. Cross out the 2's. Answer is -3. If you got a fraction in your problem, more than likely you're going to have a negative for your answer. All right, I'm going to skip some of these because I'm going to let y'all go and work some of them out. I'm going to let y'all do 6. I think we need to do 7. It's got a decimal. 7 log is 10. All right, who can set it up for me? Abby, set that up for me, please. Thank you. 10 to the x, 0.01. All right, this is the first time we have had a decimal. And guys, you can't have a decimal. So we got to take our calculators and we got to change that decimal into a fraction. So everybody right now, enter in 0.01, hit equals, or hit enter. Now hit the math button right here. Math button's right up under the green alpha key. Hit the math button and hit number 1. It says fraction. Let's make it a fraction. What'd it give you? You got to do that first. You got to make it a fraction first. So I'm just going to erase this and put 1 over 100. Now, does everybody see how we did that? So the only other problem I see a decimal on is number 10 anyway. All right, so y'all should be able to do it. I got to change 100 into 10 to some power. So I know 100 is 10 squared. So change it first because you got to make them the same base. You got to make them the same number. All right, anybody, what's next? What happens when I move this up to the top? It becomes a negative. So my answer is x equals -2. All right, you guys try 9. Should be able to do 9. How can I turn these into the same base? Anybody got a suggestion? Yeah, right. Just look at the board, and Alex said just make them into 2s. 8 turns into 2 to the 3rd, 16 turns into 2 to the 4th, and you should be able to do it. Awesome. There you go. All right, so 8 is 2 to the 3rd, 16 is 2 to the 4th. Mark out your 2's. What's our answer going to be? 4 over 3. You make it a decimal, it's 1.3. I just assume you leave it as a fraction. Now, y'all going to have to at least show me one step. I mean, if you skip that step, that's fine, but you at least got to show me where you set up on every problem. All right, you guys try the next one by yourself, number 10. I just showed you how to do it. Number 10, I got log base 10.001 equals x. First step, y'all got to change 0.001 into a fraction. Everybody use your calculator. All right, what does 1,000 change into? 10 to the 3rd. All right, so I replace that with 10 to the 3rd. And now from here, y'all should see once I got them the same base, you know, it's going to work out. I got to move this up to the top. That makes it 10 to the -3. So my answer is x equals -3 as I mark out the 10. All right, so we did the top section. The ones I didn't do, I want y'all to do by yourself, and that's fine. You can do that in a minute. The ones on the bottom, we're doing a little differently. You set them up the same way, but you solve them differently. So let's go to number 11. Log base A 49 equals 2. All right, so we got to set it up. How do I set this one up? Set them up the same way. So Will, what's it going to be when I set it up? A squared equals 49. Okay, write it down. All right, there's a couple different ways y'all could do this. Some of y'all can probably even think of this one in your head. You guys probably know something squared equals 49. Everybody knows it's going to be 7, right? But what if the number was so big you didn't know it in your head? How would you do it? I'm going to show you. I think it's best if I just show y'all one way to do all of them and not a whole bunch of different ways. So the best way, Madison, that's a 2 over 1. Y'all agree? Okay, we got to get the a by itself. So how can I make that cancel out? I could multiply it by the reciprocal, 1 over 2. And if I do it on that side, I got to do it on this side. So in a few minutes, you're going to have some really big numbers. All you'll have to do is type in 49 to the 1/2 power and see what it gives you. And it's going to give you 7, y'all know that. All right, so that's how you do one with an exponent on the a or the x. You just do the reciprocal. Now that will work for every problem. So why don't we do another one like that and I'll show you. Maybe I can find one that's got some big numbers. Yeah, let's do 14. 14 is probably one you probably didn't know in your head. 14 is log base a of 81 equals 4. All right, Morgan, can you set this one up for me? Okay, it won't be a squared, will it? It'll be a to the 4 equals 81. All right, now, you probably don't know what number to the 4th power equals 81. You might, but you probably don't. So how would you do this? Do it just like we did this one. All right, so what I say? This is 4 over 1. What do I do?
1 over 4.
Yeah, I just do a 1 over 4 there because I got to get the a by itself. And whatever I do on the left side, I got to do on the right side. So y'all type that in your calculator. And let's make sure we know how to type that in. 81 to the 1/4 power. 81 to the 1 over 4 equals. I got 3. Okay. All right, so y'all know how to do those. Let me give you one more of those before I show you a different type. Let's do, all right, 17 looks pretty hard. Let's do 17. There's like 3 different types of these problems. Log base a 1 over 27 equals -3. All right, so we got to set it up. I think you guys know how to set it up. A to the -3rd equals 1 over 27. You know, I said this one was going to be harder, but it's really not. You do it the same way. All right, so we got to get the a by itself. So I got to make that cancel out. Right now it's -3 over 1. What's the reciprocal? -1 over 3. And whatever you do there, you got to do there. So just type it in. So really, I thought this was going to be a hard problem. It's not any hard because you can just type it in the calculator. I can show y'all a way to do it by hand, but since we can use the calculators, we might as well just type it in. When somebody gets an answer, let me know. Is it 3?
Yeah.
Everybody's saying 3. All right. Will's got a question. Oh. Let's do one more like this. I said that would be the last one, but I think y'all can do one by yourself now. Let's do trying to find one that would be difficult. I don't really see any because you can type them all in. Let's do 22. Looks like the same type problem. 22, I got log W of 64 equals 3. You guys do that and find an answer. Do it all by yourself. Now remember, I want y'all to show me one step. I know some of y'all can do this in your head. At least show me where you set it up. After that, if you want to use a calculator, that's fine. But I'm going to ask on every problem, you at least show me how you set it up on that first step. All right, so when y'all set it up, you know it's going to be W to the 3rd equals 64. And I know from here, a lot of you guys can just type it in, and that's fine. So what do I do to find my answer on this one? That's 3 over 1, right? So what do I do? Yeah, I flip it over and do a 1 over 3. So Dawson, type it in from 164 to the 1/3. Everybody get 4? All right, so y'all know how to do that type. Now, I see some other types on here. I see, but guys, the other type is going to be the easiest one, like number 12. Let's go to 12. 12 says log base 6 of x equals 2. All right, let's set it up. Somebody set it up for me. What's it going to be? Alex, what's it going to be when you set it up? 6 squared equals x. What makes this type the easiest one the x is already by itself. So to find your answer, you just gotta type in 6 squared. What's the answer? 36. Yeah, that one's really easy. That type is really easy. Let's find another one like that. Maybe I can find one a little bit harder. Yeah, let's do 15. 15 is like that. It's log base 5 of x equals -2. All right? Set it up, work it out. Let's see what you get. You don't have to do anything but just type in 5 to the -2. What'd you say it was? Alex says 1/25. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm not going to show any more like that because that looks like the easiest type. But I do see some on here like number 16 that have square roots. So why don't we go ahead and do those? And then we'll take a break after we do the square roots. And then we'll come back. I'll let y'all finish the other ones we didn't do. All right, so let's do 16. Log base 10 root 10 equals x. All right, so these are basically the same type problems you guys did last year. Maybe. All right, so let's set this one up. 10 to the x equals root 10. I need y'all to write that down. All right, now we went over this, which day? Wednesday. Watch. If it's the square root of 10, how do you fix that? Make it an exponent. You would do 10 to the 1/2, because if it's a square root, that's understood to be a 2. And if you don't see an exponent, it's always understood to be a 1. That's how you fix that one. What about this one? Cube root of 10. Fix that one. 10 to the 1/3. All right, what if it's fourth root of 10? Fix that one. 10 to the 1/4. All right, y'all got it. We went over that Wednesday. So we got to fix this one. So it's 10 to the x equals 10 to the 1/2. Once you do that, you just mark it out. Your answer is 1/2. Don't even need a calculator for this. All right, let's do another one with a square root. 20's got a square root. Let's go to 20. It's got log base root 3, 27 equals x. All right, Miss Leah, type, how do I set that one up? Very good. All right, so Leah set it up for us. All right, so I need y'all to write it down. You got to show the first step anyway on every problem. If you can do the rest in your calculator, great. But you got to show me that. All right, so every time we have a square root, we have to fix it. We have to write it with an exponent. Now look, I just showed y'all this. How did we fix this one? That's a 1 and that's a 2, so we got 10 to the 1/2. What's that one going to turn into when you fix it? 3. That's a 1, that's a 2, right? So it's 1/2 x. That's cool.
You know your boy wanted them.
Which boy?
You only got one son, don't you?
You call a bunch of my kids around here, my son. Appreciate it.
I'm just kidding. I haven't even seen Brandon today, but he'll come in buggy today.
Don't give him one. All right, so this is where we're back now, guys. When the x is in this spot, we got to make them into the same number. So how can I change 27 into a 3? Check the board. 3 cubed. All right, so I got 3 to the 1/3 x equals 3 to the 3rd. Write it down. Yeah, this one's probably harder than the other ones. Once we do this for 3 days, y'all have it. All right, what do we do? I mark out the 3's. I got 1/3 x equals 3. How would I solve that? Did I mess up, Morgan?
Why is it 3 to the 1/3?
Did I mess up?
It's supposed
That's
to be
1/2. Why'd y'all let me do that?
We're just, you continue. We're just
Yeah, it's 1/2. Why'd I write 1/3? Coop knocked on the door and I got all mixed up. Let's redo it. All right, so it's 3 to the 1/2 equals 3 to the 3rd. All right, so mark out the 3's. I got 1/2 x equals 3. All right, so now we're back to where we were. All right, so how are we going to solve this using our calculators? Divide both sides by 1/2. You guys do that and tell me what to write down. 3 divided by 1/2 equals positive 6. All right, I think that one was pretty hard. Go to 21. Log base x cube root of 7 equals 1/3. All right, so first step, we got to set it up as an exponent problem. All right, so that's going to be x to the 1/3 equals cube root of 27. Cube root of 7. Let's go ahead and fix this one. How do I fix cube root of 7? It's going to be 7 to what power? 1/3. Very good. Do I need to explain that again, guys? Coop's back.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Want to split it, Coach?
You already had hash brown. You didn't split your hash brown?
I didn't know you wanted some.
Hash brown's good. All right, so somebody tell me, there's 3 different kinds of problems. Which kind is this? We got to get the x by itself. How do I make the 1/3 cancel out?
You gotta do
Do the reciprocal. Good, y'all got it. So it's 3 over 1 there and 3 over 1 there. So I guess the question is, how you going to type that in the calculator, right?
It's just, you can't put the
Okay, good. I was going to see if y'all figured that out. The 3's are just cancel, and it's just 7 to the first. But what if you had to cancel? I mean, what if you had to type it in the calculator because they didn't cancel out? You would do 7 to the 1/3 in parentheses with a 3 out beside it. That's how you would do it. Okay. All right, a couple more. Let's do, y'all see any more square roots? That was 21. Go to the other side, 27. Log base 5 root 5 equals x. All right, we've done enough. Now you guys see if y'all can do that. Set it up, work it out.
Appreciate it. Mark that.
Oh, that's bad for you. All right, so y'all know that's 5 to the x equals root 5. Hey, let's fix this one. How can I get rid of that root symbol? What's it going to be? Well, that's a 1, that's a 2, so it'd be 5 to the 1 over 2. All right, this one's an easy one. Just mark out the 5s, you got your answer. X equals 1/2. All right, let's go ahead and do all of them that's got a square root on it, because if we don't, you guys are going to be asking me about them anyway. Next one is 30. Let's go to 30. All right, y'all do 30. Set them up, work them out. I wrote it down wrong. 32. Log base 10. All right, so we got 10 to the x equals cube root of 10. All right, so somebody help me. What do we do first? We got to fix that root. How do I fix that? How do I turn that into an exponent? It's going to be 10 to what power? 1/3. Good. All right, well, this was an easy one then. What's the answer? Yeah, you just cross out the 10s, x equals 1/3. All right, let's go to break. How many on that sheet did we not do, guys?